Hi, so this is my Arduino project. It's a variation of the Blink example that's given with the software. It's basically the Arduino board. It's hooked it up to the Mac Mini through a USB cable here. And it provides power to the breadboard through the pinouts, the digital pinouts. And there's digital pinouts from 8 until 13. Each of the pinouts are controlling an LED light, and then the ground for the board is here on the side. So what I did was I took the pinout from the Arduino board, ran it to the positive terminal of the breadboard, ran a resistor, and then to the LED light here at the end, and then it terminates with the negative. So it's just a little circuit, and because each of the pinouts is controlled by the microprocessor, I'm able to control the timing of the lights. So here we have a 100 millisecond timing between each of the lights. And so what the software does is it turns off or turns on the light for 100 milliseconds and then turns it off and then moves to the next light. I controlled that through the software programming, which I'll show you in a minute. This is the code for the Blink project. The code is called a sketch, and what you do is you write the code in the development environment, the IDE, and you upload the code into the microprocessor so it will execute it. So here in this sketch, there's 3 parts. Here are the variables I use for both functions in the code. So the first variable is declared an integer. It's called blink time, and I use a value of 100 to represent 100 milliseconds. The highest pin I'm working with is pin 13, and the lowest pin is pin 8. And this is important when I'm looping through each of the pins in the series. In the setup, there's a couple things. Well, there's one thing you have to do in the setup is you have to send the pin mode to output, and you do that for each of the pins. So in iteration 1 of the loop, it'll set pin 8 to output. Iteration 2 of the loop, it'll set pin 9 of the pin 9 to the output mode. Here in the main loop, you're simply doing 2 things with the same loop structure. You're doing the for loop structure. You're telling the pin to turn on with the high constant, and then you wait with the delay function 100 milliseconds, and you turn the light off with the low constant, and again you wait another 100 milliseconds. Nice thing about having the variables up top is you can just change it in one place, and it'll affect it throughout the code. So if your code's really long, it really helps to have just one variable that you use. So you just change it in one spot and not hard code the values into the code. That's about it.